Fracking. It's controversial and not particularly popular among communities that face having sites in their backyard.
No fracking way! No fracking way!
Like these people who are fighting plans by gas giant INEOS for an exploratory drilling site here at Marsh Lane in North Derbyshire. But never fear, because there are guidelines, procedures, checks and balances in place to make sure their voices don't go unheard. Now, this might not look very exciting, and for a lot of people it's not. It's a council planning meeting, but it's here where the people that we vote for, our representatives, make decisions that directly affect our lives. This is local government democracy in action. Or so you'd think. Problem is, Derbyshire County Council failed to meet the statutory 13-week deadline. So it's had the decision taken out of its hands after INEOS appealed to the government.
We're making a considered view today, but we're not actually determining the planning application. That matter is now in the hands of the inspector, because INEOS decided that they weren't prepared to allow any more time for the council to assemble its evidence and come to a conclusion, and they made an appeal to the Secretary of State just before Christmas.
But it hasn't been cheap.
We've probably accrued so far about £100,000 worth of costs.
It's money down the drain. It's our money that INEOS are using to play these games with democracy.
And it's not just here in Marsh Lane where local people feel democracy is eroding. Another application in Hart Hill, less than 6 miles that way, is also going straight to the Planning Inspectorate after Rotherham Borough Council also failed to meet its decision deadline.
We gave the local councils ample time to review these applications, and we're in a situation now where applications are being recommended for approval by technically competent and professionally governed planning officers, but are being turned down by local council elected representatives sitting on planning committees at great cost. Perhaps these decisions need to be taken at a higher level for such a nationally important resource.
Weighing up local objections against national need is something MPs will now be taking a closer look at.
There is an argument which says because we need gas on a national scale, these decisions should be taken at a national level as matters of national infrastructure. On the other hand, the government did produce a report last year which talked about the security of our gas supply and said basically they thought our gas supply was secure.
Whichever side you're on, one voice the government is listening to is the accountants. The company Third Energy has delayed fracking at Kirby Misperton in North Yorkshire, not because of planning issues, but because the Secretary of State wants to check its finances are in order. While protesters and gas companies continue to make their cases, what local people so far have shown is that attempts to silence them will only make them shout louder.
The people got the power. INEOS, can you hear us? INEOS, can you hear us?
That was Liz Roberts reporting.